Hi everyone, Delfino Aguilar here, SVP of Wholesale Production at Kind Lending, with a very special guest, Mr. Glenn Stearns, our founder here at Kind Lending. Glenn, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Delfino. How are you?
I'm doing great too. It's our last episode of Del Talk for season 2. We had you on season 1 ending the show.
Went by like a
It did.
flash.
It did. We had a lot of special guests on the show, right? We had Rob Chrisman was on.
He was great.
Barry was on. John
Great.
Shrewsbury from retired CFO of Wells Fargo. So
Dave was on.
Dave too was on.
Yeah.
That was a good one too. So we're excited to end it with you, right?
Well, thanks.
And truth be told, we just came back from an office.
We just
right?
got back,
From
pretty
Landmark.
psyched.
Yeah. How do you think it went?
It went great.
Awesome,
They all
right?
go
Like
great.
they all go great. They all go great. We were just talking about that too. So listen, Glenn, we're excited. We're honored that you're here with us today too. As we're going into our last episode today, you and I have been hitting the field a lot.
A lot.
A lot, right? We're in Rhode Island in 2 weeks too. What are some things that have stuck out to you as we're meeting with some of our clients out in the field?
Well, you know what? I mean, first I would tell you, it's our job, right?
Yep.
To be out there and just kind of helping put the ear to the pavement and hear what's going on. And so by listening to the fact that so many brokers are out there that, I mean, look, yes, the refis have been something that we've been really trying to do a great job for them on, but they're all focused on the purchase market. They're all focused on making sure they can help bring that transaction in without worry about appraisal, without worrying about all the disclosures, and making sure it's fast and it's efficient. So we have been helping to try to make sure that we build something that can get them there. And so, you know, it was great to sit and listen to a lot of our partners out there and hear what they need. And as we keep building, like with the Quickie portal that we just got out, that's been so fast for everybody, it's been rewarding to hear the feedback.
Yeah, it has been. You know, being out in the field for me personally, especially going out with you, right? Because we're out meeting some of these brokers we worked with for years, you know, and the AEs, and they love working with us on the processing side. They love that we're being innovative with our new portal,
right?
You know, which you mentioned right now too. So it's exciting. It's exciting to be part of Kind. It's exciting to keep on building this as we keep on adding more and more people. But talking about our people, right? We had some Kind ambassadors on our show too, right? So we had Jen Martinez was on our show. Susie was just part of our show, right? So we like to highlight and introduce the mortgage industry, some of the people that are on our show.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes, right? Here at Kind. Why is it so important to you and to Mindy to build that culture here at Kind where people have a voice and we really make an impact and their feedback matters? Why is that so important?
Well, you know, again, we talked about our business is not a transactional business, okay? It is a people business, right? It is a relationship business. Yes, you gotta get the deals done, and yes, you gotta move them along, but this is about the long-term, you know, relationship that we have with people, because if you form a relationship where you really care, then what's going to happen is if you need something late at night, if you need somebody to come in over the weekend, if you just need those extra things, you've got a face behind it, you've got that heart and soul. And so, you know, we have formed Kind with that in mind. And it wasn't just that we're the best price leader. It wasn't, you know, all that is good, but you know what? It's about really touching people to make sure that they understand who they're dealing with. And then we can do more of that by getting some of these people that are behind the scenes and get them in front of others. Everyone gets to know each other, and then you end up with a great relationship. And that's, again, what it's all about.
Yeah, and we're pretty lucky about that, Glenn. We were talking to Mike and his team at Landmark today about how all of us have been working together for such a long time, right? And our people are truly our competitive advantage.
That's right.
And from our sales team to our processors to registration, every aspect here at Kind is what separates us from the competition. They asked us, right? Like, how do you separate yourself? And really, our people
That's right.
are our competitive advantage.
You know, it's funny because what they said is after the account executive left at the old company, that they kept working because there were so many great underwriters and people. And I remember we looked at each other and smiled because all those people were working with us, right?
They are.
And so that's what mattered. And I used to tell the account execs, I said, listen, your very important, but your team, they realize that they get job security when they do their job well, because those relationships will keep coming back as long as we work in unison.
That's right.
You know, and so it's great to see, you know, our account managers, our account reps understand the importance of that solid team, and vice versa, because when we all work well together, we keep that partnership going into a place that, you know, it transcends where you're working, right? It's really about that culture, and it's about that feeling that, you know, that really it's a more of a servant leadership, that we all work for other people. So
it is. It's interesting. I just got a text. You haven't seen it yet, but we had an AE that started with us earlier this month in May, and I'll show it to you once we're done with this. But he said it was very simple. He said, "Delfino, best I've ever worked with. I'm so happy that I'm here because of you guys." And to me, that's how we're doing this, right? And he just started with us in June. He's had a great experience. He's already sent out a bunch of broker packages, and we're going to help him grow his business, right? And so coupling all these different things that we got going on, the portal, the people, you know, what we're coming out with our new products in July, and everything we're doing, I think is really going to put us in a great spot to compete compete for our broker's business.
That's right.
And, you know, Glenn, talking a little bit about the broker model, right? So you've been in this business for a very long time, you know, over 35 years. You're a very successful company. Stearns was #1, right? We're going to get back there. Why is the broker model so important to the mortgage industry?
Well,
you know?
I mean, I remember we were talking about earlier today about 2008 when the blame was on the broker. Look at what they did with these terrible loans. And I said, that is not the broker's fault. I remember saying this on CNBC and lots of other stations. You give them something to sell, and they're going to be your best salespeople, right? And the fact is that you have choice with a broker. A broker can go wherever he needs to go to make sure his client, that borrower, gets the best loan. Sometimes we may not be the right spot. Sometimes it might be the guy down the street. And so when you come out with new programs, when you get innovative, what happens in this competition between lenders is it really helps sharpen each other, and then ultimately the borrower wins when you have a broker that gets to pick and choose where they're going to send that loan. So our goal is to always try to come out with innovative programs, always be very, real up there on the price, right? Competitive is the word I was looking for. And then just to also have that relationship so that you know as a broker, you put it in with us, it's done. Go get the next deal, right? And so those are important things that I think in our building again of our brand, that people realize that we're consistent, that we care, and that we really are going to be someone that can help them in the future by giving them more tools to be able to go do it and do it better than their competition.
Their competition is right. And I love that word competition. Like, I'm a pretty competitive guy. You've known me a long time. And I think it does make us better. It does make lenders better, brokers. If we've heard a lot of different things from what brokers are doing to build their business, right? Some do mailing, some do leads, some whatever it is, right? But everyone has their model. And I think that that's the great thing about the broker model, because you can decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to put this lender in timeout if they're not doing a good job, right? Let's just say it how it is. Or I'm going to be giving this lender a lot more of my share because they're doing an awesome job, right? And that's the great benefit of being a mortgage broker.
That's right.
Having that choice. So we're growing here a lot at Kind, right? Glenn, there's a lot of different things that are happening. Why would you say, it's always a great time to join Kind Lending, but why would you say it's an extraordinary and probably one of the best times to join?
Well, if you're talking about as a broker to come over, I'd say that, we've hit our stride, right? In the beginning, first, thank you to all the brokers that came on in the beginning, because we had to work out some of the bugs, get the software dialed in, right? Get everything in. We had to get our underwriters and funders to know, hey, where the coffee is and where the bathroom is, right? I mean, you've got to get settled. So now we're settled. So we all get to the rhythm down. We understand the importance. And again, you got to get the culture down, right? And it's a place we want. And when you come from somewhere that maybe had a different idea of how they saw things, you've got to get them back to thinking the way we think, which is that, we want to make sure we give it our all and that we fight hard for every loan. That's why it was important for us to put the AE in our model, because not all loans are going to turn out to be these perfect cookie cutter models. So we want to fight for that loan. We want to voice for the loan. So today, as we sit, we've got great pricing. We've got a great system to bring it in. I just got an email. You talk about one. I got one from a man, a broker partner, that says, this old man, I read it to you, right? Has done has had a lot of software in the past, and I don't like change. This was the easiest, that I've ever been through. So I love hearing that, right? You love that feedback. So we're getting our groove. We've still got a long way to go.
Yeah, we do.
But we're up there with all the top guys right now. We can compete with every single one of them in every aspect. So now it's about, we're going to keep going. And we also joked about some of the competition that likes to come in and maybe do some things we're doing. We take that as a compliment. Keep on. Let's make this industry better for everybody, right? And so if we can add a little value, if we can add a little humor, right? We can laugh at ourselves, and let's just all go out here. We're working hard. Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun is right. It's interesting because somebody brought that to our attention, right? We're like, that's a great compliment. We look at it as a compliment, right? Like what we're doing here, what you're leading the charge on here. I really do feel we're going to be changing the mortgage industry. We're changing it now. A lot of great things are happening. We've transitioned a little bit about milestones. We've hit some pretty big milestones over the last 6 months. Quickly. And we hit a big mark, or in the 2 billion mark. What's one bit? Is there anyone that sticks out to you the most? We really have done a really good job hiring people. Natalie, Chrissy, all departments have been doing a great job building our staff. Which one sticks out to you the most, or is there one that does?
Actually, when I look back I looked at some of the other lenders out there, and I'm friends with a lot of the owners, and I asked, how much retention have you had over the last 6 months? And a lot of people say, wow, I hire every 100 people I hire, I lost 80 other people because there's such a bidding war, because we all needed people. And I had another group, and they had lost about 75% of their people, right? Or, I'm sorry, 70% of their people. And they hired 1,800 people, and you get whatever the number was, close to 900 people that leave. We looked at our stats, and we had 94% of the people stayed, right? We only had a 6% attrition rate. And I mean, it's phenomenal, right? Because it's not all about money. It's not all about just, and we pay, I think, very well, but it's more about how you feel, right? And so that stood out to me. I mean, obviously, hitting great numbers is going to be something that'll be fun, and it'll be nice to see that it's working. But I love the fact that people are here and they're happy. I love that when our partners come over, that they say, wow, you guys are like your old self.
We're saying,
and so it feels good. Those things stick with me the most.
They do. And thank you for sharing that, because I think that's a very big milestone for us here, because you mentioned that currency. That's hard to measure sometimes, right? Like, how happy are you? I think for me, what I learned last year during the whole COVID, how important it is to be, present, to be able to, we built the business quickly during that time, right? And being happy while you're doing it, relying on people around you, and really, doing what you're saying you're doing, and I think that's what's separating us, I think, from the rest of a lot of lenders out there, that we're really trying to stick to what we're saying out there, and I think that's really important. So listen, so you are our last guest on season number 2, right? You have a lot of busy stuff going on with you all the time. We also have Undercover Billionaire that you can watch on Discovery, right now, live, right? Grit happens.
Undercover Billionaire, Comeback City, which is a whole different show that's airing right now on Discovery Plus.
Yeah, that's 2. And then very active in social media, right? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
I had my I had my Instagram hacked.
That's
Someone
right.
stole
That's
it
right.
and held it hostage.
That's right.
I was flattered they tried to sell it for $30,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We got it back.
You got it back. That's what's important, right? You got it back. That's what's important. So a lot of different ways for people to reach out to you and follow you. Obviously, the YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about either joining Kind Lending, more about Glenn and Mindy Stearns, more about what we're doing here at Kind, follow us at kindlending.com. You could also follow us on LinkedIn, and please make sure you follow us at our website, like I mentioned, at kindlending.com. All right. So, Glenn, thank you so much for being our guest. We're going to take a break for a couple weeks. We're excited for season 3. We have a whole marketing team. I learned something else too about media, right? The other shot that we talked about earlier today. So I'm excited to bring you guys. You guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed season 2. We have a lot of guests lined up for you guys. We're going to bring you back more of some Kind ambassadors to you in season 3 as well. So we're really excited about that.
And I want to say one more thing, Dale.
Yeah.
I want to thank you. I mean, you're bringing a lot of great stuff out there to the community. Like you said, you're bringing a lot of people, a lot of resources, and people that really are important for us to be able to get some knowledge about. So thank you. You're doing a great job. I'm really proud of what you're doing. You're representing us well, and so keep it going.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's easy, like we joke about this when I have you as my wingman, right? Like
we talk about wingmen.
We talk about that, going out in the field, and it's so much fun, and it's easier. I say this a lot, but it's easier to have harder conversations to help you grow and build your business when you completely trust the people you're with, right? And I think everybody here feels that way. It makes it fun. It's exciting. I'm excited about the portal. I'm excited about all the AEs that are on their way, that we're talking to, that we're building our business, underwriters, like every type of position that that we're growing. Coming. So thank you for those kind words, Glenn. We're really excited. So Glenn, thanks again. I'm excited to kick off season 3. But more importantly, thank you for your time today.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.